All right, guys, we have a treat here because the Virtus Pro Dota match was rescheduled. Unfortunately, there were internet issues beyond the control of all the players. That match is going to get reworked. I'm unsure when it's postponed to, but for now, we do have the ATN, Alternate Attacks, versus Vega. Vega forgot to tag up, but it's all good here. Game 1 just started, so we did miss the draft, but didn't miss any of the juicy action here. We can go ahead and introduce our teams over on the Bounty Hunter. On the side of Vega, we have Nitrogen. Seema is going to be on that Disruptor. Storm Spirit over here in the mid, played by Iceberg, who's about to get stomped up. Don't really know if they can actually finish him off. Drow Ranger over here in the safe lane, being played by FN. And finally, we have Mag on the Slardar. On the side of ATN, we are going to have Lisa on this Elder Titan in the mid lane. Over here top, we have Kankor on the Winter Wyvern, Nyx Assassin down bottom in the off lane, played by Nisha. And over here, Juggernaut taking up that short lane position, Faye taking care of that. And finally, mid, we have Exotic Deer going up against Iceberg. Now, Elder Titan went, denied to neutrals, got a little bit too low for comfort, courtesy of Iceberg's harass, but Iceberg now a little bit low on mana. Can't continue to spam those static remnants like you'd like to. He's going to be at level 3, but that really crucial window for attacking a Storm Spirit is that pre-level 5, so as long as Elder Titan sticks around and they can delay Iceberg's farm, delay his levels, should be all good. Gonna get stomped up right now, forced to eat up his last full tango, but he should be okay. Now Nitrogen comes in, should just go in for that little swipe. Does not have his Janata, of course, is only level 1, as he's playing that roaming Bounty Hunter. So difficult to find levels, unless you're going and harassing back the jungler. Now there's a nice little stomp. Iceberg most likely going to be our first blood. He has no ability to get out of this, and it looks like he will get bopped up. Now Exotic Deer going in. They have a dust. Nitrogen gonna follow suit. One more hit means that it's a double kill for the Elder Titan. All of a sudden, Seema comes in, throws out that Thundershock, but I don't think that's going to be enough to get down the PA. One more strike means she is home free. She's got that salve flying in a bottle as well. Really nice farm going her way. Alright, now Nyx Assassin sitting down here has his poor man's shield, but not a whole lot going for him. Of course, he is just a lowly Nyx Assassin, being harassed back by FN on the Drow. I mean, this is a pretty yucky combination. He's only level 2, still holding on to a point. Hasn't opted to get that Carapace, which might not be a bad idea, especially up against that Drow Ranger. Just being able to go Carapace, self-preserve, and squiggle your way to freedom. Alright, mid, Storm Spirit getting a lot out of the lane. Going to be last hitting pretty well up against this Phantom Assassin. Of course, he has that static remnant to make things a little bit easier, but Exotic Deer also continuing to hold her own pretty even mid lane, but with this smoked up Elder Titan, now they have a stomp. There's going to be a jump as well. Iceberg stuck in place once again. Can they punish him pre-level 6 once again? They are going to bring in Nitrogen, who's trying to go in, but still only level 1. Doesn't have anything to his name. There is a dust as well. They're going to give up the chase this time, not turn it into a double kill, but this Elder Titan, now 2-1, really helping out this Phantom Assassin, who's 1-0-2. Absolutely what they need to be doing to prevent the Storm Spirit from going out of control. The combination of Storm Drow is pretty potent. I believe having Drow on your team, if you're, oh god, Nitrogen, you're gonna regret the day you did that. Exotic Deer gets low, but man, that Bounty Rune Snipe may not have been worth it. Iceberg wants to get something for his time, but there's another stomp coming up in 3 more seconds. Exotic Deer has the dagger back. I think they're just going to let Iceberg live for now, but he cannot get revenge on this PA as much as he tries. Alright, now Mag going up against this Winter Wyvern, just going to be burning him down, trying to get some harass going. There will be a stomp, but the PA nowhere in the vicinity. There's going to be a crush as Mag slithers away to freedom. So they aren't able to secure another kill, but so much control being exercised by ATN right now. Drow Ranger needs to be kept in check. She hasn't died. She hasn't really done much of anything except for farm. But Juggernaut still getting a whole lot more than her up in this top lane. Faye raking in these last hits, almost 40 last hits at 4 minutes in the game. He has near perfect CS at this point. He's been doing a phenomenal job and hasn't really felt a whole lot of pressure from this Slardar. Even though Slardar and Jug are both melees, Jug just feels so much more nimble. Slardar feels kind of chunky at this point. All he can do is sprint in and crush, and there's not a whole lot of follow-up from that. Alright, Alright, Nisha slithering back. I mean, a little bit low on mana. Did end up grabbing that Carapace level 2, so not going to go for the mana burn. Can't be on the aggressive. This is a very defensive build, especially up against that Drow that's just been poking him back. FN getting a good amount of farm again. Is going to be relying on the rest of his team to start accelerating, and a huge component of that is Iceberg getting his level 6. He's now level 5.5. Once he gets that ball lightning, he's going to be so much more able to gank. But we've got sentry wards here. FNG is going to be a little bit careful. Doesn't want to hop in under vision. He knows he has a sentry here. I don't think he knows what's going on this high ground. But finally hitting that level 2, goes for the Shuriken instead of the Janata. So not going to be going in for those aggressive backstabs, but either way, FNG slithers away, and that's going to be more free farm for this PA, who's now going to be reaching her level 6 very quickly. That coup de grace going to start to add up, especially against squishy heroes. The Drow, the Storm Spirit, very, very vulnerable to those dagger blinks. Playing against a Drow Ranger, your big strategy is gap close, because all Drow wants to do is be that sentry turret on the back lines, wailing away. Gust keeps you back, Frost Arrows keep you slow. She just wants to hit you as many times as possible without you getting close. So if you've got someone like a PA that's going to go jump right behind your Drow Ranger, she's toast. Alright, so PA with that double damage rune ready to go. I mean, definitely looking for that jump. You've also got the Elder Titan ready to go in. There's the Spirit. Oh god, the ball lightning comes out just in time though. Storm Spirit is going to be able to get himself out. Very little regen though. His mana is pretty abysmal at this point. No more bottle charges. Just got that null tally for int. So hopefully he's going to be able to get himself some decent stats soon enough, but Bloodstone is certainly a long ways off. Alright, now Seema on the Disruptor finally flying in some goodies for himself. Wards, smokes. I think smokes are going to be pretty crucial at this point, but speaking of which, you've got Exotic Deer and his buddy the Titan already moving down towards that bottom lane, even though it's only a Disruptor kill that they could be getting. Still better than nothing. It does help out the Nyx Assassin, get a couple of levels, feel a little bit more free in the lane, but if they can find this Drow Ranger, that could be a fantastic pick. She's going to go ahead, Quelling Blade her way through the trees. Looks like this smoke will be fruitless. Just going to be wandering around, getting a little bit of vision, but wasn't able to plop down any deep wards in the Radiant territory.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Alright, so again, just kind of a quiet laning phase going forward. I think once the Nyx Assassin hits his 6, he's going to start being pretty mobile. He's level 5.5 right now, so he's just about ready to go in for that first gank. Now Iceberg needs to be a little bit careful, going to be zipping away from that stomp, but Exotic Deer still has the chase left in him. Iceberg's going to be picking up a little bit more mana courtesy of the Bounty Rune, refilling the bottle. The chase stops there, and now over here in the river we've got FNG trailing onto Nisha. There's going to be the crush. They've got the Shuriken Toss as well. There is going to be the Carapace available from Nisha, but I think he's kind of stuck up a creek without a paddle. He goes in, lands an Impale, but finally Disruptor gets the last say as his Thunder Strike finishes him off. Now up top, Juggernaut continuing to do phenomenally in terms of overall last hits. Almost 80 last hits, 8 minutes in the game. And in terms of net worth, he's going to be sitting right on top, surpassing the Drow Ranger. Neither of these guys have really any kill participation going for themselves yet, but it all comes down to what's scarier, a farming Drow Ranger or a farming Jug, and in this case I'd have to say the Jug is just a little bit more lethal. Again, because of that gap close, he can Omni Slash onto the Drow Ranger, he's got that magic immunity, so he's not too scared of what Disruptor's throwing at him. I think once Faye decides he's ready to rotate, ready to go in and be the aggressor, he's gonna be getting a lot out of this game. Alright, Nisha going to be going in. That first Vendetta Strike should be enough to finish off FNG, and now they're not going to catch him out with that kinetic field. So first Static Storm is going to be a complete whiff as Nisha just scurries away, very content with his pickoff. I mean, it's not the most high value target in the world, but picking off a bounty pre-level 6, delaying that track gold coming out, is going to be super important to keeping ATN on top. In terms of overall net worth, ATN's going to be sitting on a very minor gold lead, not going to be controlling that XP lead, but either way, one big team fight is going to start to turn this one way or the other. We're still pretty early on in the game, not even 10 minutes in, still thoroughly in laning phase.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
So there's going to be that amp damage on the Juggernaut, but he's sitting back again. He does have that level 1 Omni Slash. Probably not enough to cut through these guys together, but if Storm Spirit gets a little bit too close, I think the Omni can do a fair bit of work on him. Now, meanwhile, mid lane, we've got PA. She's invised up, trying to bait out something. There is going to be Elder Titan still sitting on some dust, so if the Bounty Hunter goes near, that's going to be pretty good. Scan out from the Dire to make sure the Bounty Hunter's not standing directly underneath the PA. She is going to reveal, wasting that Invis rune, but continuing to farm up really well for herself. She's going to be picking up the components for what looks to be a Vlad's. Alright, Iceberg hot on the trails of Nisha, but the vision is not exactly perfect. There is going to be a ping out somewhere, but Nisha, I mean, he's hungry. There is going to be the dagger coming back in. Iceberg wants to ball lightning away, and they just don't have the gap closed yet to lock down that storm, but eventually there will be that. Now, glimpse back in. I think this is a very, very dead Winter Wyvern. She does have her ulti, but silenced up. No chance to Cold Embrace, no chance to Winter's Curse, and that's going to be FN's first kill participation on this Drow Ranger, sitting on almost 2,000 gold on top of the Dragon Lance at 11 minutes in. That is a really good place for the Drow Ranger to be. Alright, and Nyx Assassin continuing to scurry around. He's going to be waiting on his Blink Dagger. Not a whole lot of progress towards that as he did stop to go. He has his Talon. He's probably going to be picking up a wand before rushing into the Blink just to get a little bit more out of the spells being cast around him. And Mag, I mean, similar story for him. He's going to be waiting on that Blink, but he has got a long way to go before he's going to be viable in terms of ganking. Now down bottom, big push coming out. The healing word from Juggernaut, allowing him to tank that tower. And Exotic Deer and Fae already feeling capable of rotating like this. Juggernaut very, very close to his Battle Fury. And it's going to get pretty difficult to keep the lanes pushed out if you're ATN, or rather if you're Vega. Alright, now Disruptor trying to go apply a little bit of split push with his own. They do have 4 heroes in the vicinity. All 5 moving up as there is going to be the Storm Spirit farming up this neutral camp. The Courier coming back in, but immediately plopped down. Nisha not having any of that. Now here we could see a nice little fight come back. There's a glimpse back onto the Juggernaut. He's spinning around. He's going to get tracked. Does have the Omni. We do have a little bit of sandwich in on Radiant heroes. They're moving forward. There is going to be an opportunity to use that Cold Embrace going forward. Seema the Slayer will be the first casualty of this engage. Drops a nice Static Storm, but it's not enough. 1 for 1 is the trade right now. Support for support, but oh, FNG is just going to get victimized here. The early dusts from this Elder Titan have been phenomenal, allowing for 2 kills onto this bounty pre-15 minutes. Now Mag moving forward. Because of that team fight participation, he got himself a decent chunk of pennies. Now about halfway to his Blink Dagger. Still needs some time to farm up. Iceberg playing a dangerous game right now. Has his Soul Ring, has his point booster. So he's not too far off from his Bloodstone, but still cannot afford to die and cannot afford to lose this unreliable gold if he bumps right into the Nyx Assassin. He's going to be going in. There's the Carapace, but Lightning Ball right on through. No one wants to be the one to deal with each other at that point. Nyx does not want to go down pre-Blink Dagger. He's working his way towards it. He's got enough now for that magic wand to get himself some more stats, but we'll see what's going to be going down here as Phantom Assassin does complete her Vladimir's, and she's going to be moving towards her next big item, whatever it may be. A bit of a quirky Phantom Assassin build. Just in terms of, you know, it being run mid, it's going to be a huge component of the damage, but Juggernaut's still that fallback, so she's not going to be going, you know, ultra damage. She needs a little bit of survivability as well. It'll be interesting to see how she itemizes this into the mid game, into the late game. FNG coming back in again, does have those tracks. There is going to be this sentry ward in the river that he's not aware of. So he walks in, this observer is in range. That's going to be some free gold going the way of ATN when they get around to dewarding that. Now down bottom we've got a little bit of a group up. There's going to be a TP back, a glimpse back, but not before the Omni Slash rains through. Drow Ranger gets slapped out, and there is going to be that Titan Spirit coming back on through, kind of actually connect onto Seema. Not quite sure that the Stomp not going to latch, but there's going to be the Impale from inside the kinetic field. It's a double kill from the Juggernaut. And meanwhile, PA was able to get a kill on the Disruptor too. So it's just looking really, really good all around for ATN right now. 3 dead on the side of Vega. Now ATN are ready to go ahead and push. They're going to be taking out the creeps in this bottom lane and should be able to apply a little bit of pressure to this tier 2 bottom. Exotic Deer continuing to farm. I mean, she's got 1,500 gold. She's in a really good spot. 305 is almost perfect kill participation from her. Now, big TP into the mid. There's going to be a huge smoke coming at them. Drow Ranger leading the tail end of this, and we'll see if they're actually able to end up in the mid lane, or if they're just going to be skirting around. Again, FNG moving forward, leading the pack, but the really, really great vision from ATN might catch up with him. There's going to be an Elder Titan there with a dust. If he gets suspicious, oh, there's going to be lots of pings. They want to jump in onto this Titan. He gets off the dust before he dies, so now Phantom Assassin is free to chase after FNG. There's going to be a glimpse back onto the Bounty Hunter, trying to keep him safe. And now, oh gosh, nice Winter's Curse underneath. This Static Storm nullifies all the damage completely. Nisha laying in onto Mag. Mag sprinting away for all he's worth, but Exotic Deer can close that gap, has the dagger for the slow. There is going to be a crush. Mag double damaged up, but can they get the blink off? Phantom Assassin just has to get eyes, and I don't think they're actually able to get this before he TP's out, so Slardar lives. They get the Disruptor, they force out an ult from Disruptor, but a really nice Winter's Curse stalls that fight and still keeps it in favor of ATN. Iceberg will be able to get out home free, no more stuns available for that, but still overall ATN feeling very in control of this map. Vega just reacting. They went for a nice smoke, but they weren't able to get an offensive pick. Now Drow Ranger has that completed Shadow Blade, so lots of gank potential on her, and she has that escape button if needed. But again, with the Bounty Hunter, ATN are already picking up some really nice vision. Still 2 dusts left on the Elder Titan. Winter Wyvern has some sentries ready to place. Wouldn't be surprised to see Nyx's Assassin pick up a dust as well once he finishes off his next big component, which he's picked up the point booster. So not going to be rushing into that Blink Dagger immediately, maybe even just starting off with an Aghanim Scepter. I mean, it's possible. It's very, very greedy, but doubt he's going for anything else other than that Ags. Phantom Assassin's gonna go straight for that Desolator. That's gonna give her a lot of power to rip through armor. Slaughter is gonna be not even a challenge, and once ATN are actually able to go get a decent team fight and push up to structures, Exotic Deer can tear down towers like they're absolutely nothing now. We've got Mag waiting in the wings here. He does have his blink now. That's going to be a big change. So we'll see if he's actually able to slither in and start these fights off with a really nice offensive crush. The problem is the follow-up. You get a really fantastic crush going for yourself, and then you've got to rely on the Drow Ranger being there to lay in the damage. You've got to rely on the Storm Spirit zipping in to get that static link to be able to go in, or rather the Electric Vortex to hold them in place. And the damage is pretty lacking from the Drow Ranger. She's got her utility item, she's got a Dragon Lance and her Shadow Blade, but she's not hitting for enough to take down these big guys like the PA, like the Juggernaut just yet. So rotation, Dire very far into the Radiant territory. Nice wards being put down. They're getting a little bit more vision for themselves. Very deep Observer, nice deep Sentry. And they're pretty much in control of the bottom half of the map. This tier 1 is a huge control point in the Radiant jungle, and it was taken out nice and early by the Juggernaut and the PA joining forces.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Drow Ranger now completes that Hurricane Pike. Again, nice utility, but doesn't add to the early damage just yet. So Vega feel like they can't quite fight unless they're all together, unless they know they're going to start things off correctly. Now Faye, he's ready to jump in. There is going to be that invis on the storm, so Iceberg maybe looking to pull something here. Faye is going to get trapped in. Can he survive this? As soon as the Static Storm's over, he's looking to go in for the Omni Slash to with the Cold Embrace. As Winter Wyvern keeps everyone safe. Elder Titan does hit the deck, but Faye, he's got the Healing Ward, wants to go in for something. There's going to be Omni Slash, so Glimpse back doesn't even matter, as Faye is able to rip apart the Disruptor. So support for support. Now there is going to be Mag coming back in, goes for the Crush, but again, Juggernaut Magic Beam not going to do a whole lot. There's the Mana Burn. Mag's got nothing else. There's going to be the Winter's Curse as FNG has to kill his own Slardar. Now zip in from the Storm Spirit is going to kill the Winter Wyvern. That Winter's Curse saved Mag's life. Really unfortunate timing from there. Nisha might not be able to get out as FNG just backstabs him, hits him with a Janata, and slaps him till he's dead. And obviously, Phantom Assassin really wants to jump in, wants to get the kill onto FNG, knows he has no mana. Nice little crit there on the dagger means that Desolator is finished off, but again, Winter Wyvern's play with that Winter's Curse was absolutely fight-losing. Would have allowed for an easy kill on the Slardar if he hadn't been invulnerable, being attacked by only the piddly strokes of the Bounty Hunter. Roche attempt coming out for ATN. Still a little bit early for the Dire side. 20 minutes in. Juggernaut has his Battle Fury, has 2k gold. There's not a whole big ton of control coming out. There's a nice little sentry ward making sure that no one is going to be invis ruined up and walking into the pit. Drow Ranger Shadow Blade in. The Roche is melting pretty quickly, and it's going to be a nice Aegis going the way up the Juggernaut. He's going to be able to pick up his little survivability, flying out, or rather, picking up an ultimate orb, which is going to be perhaps a Scotty for him. Could also be a Lincoln Sphere if he's really scared of that glimpse, which has been quite a nuisance.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Now up top, Iceberg finally finding a little bit of freedom to push in himself. Does have that Bloodstone, 15 charges on that one. He's also going for that Orchid build. Definitely going to be making a lot of use out of that silence. But for now, he's going to have to deal with the fact that his tier 2 tower is about to get run in. He does have a TP if he wants to get back and try to fight this, but the rest of the Radiant, they're all up in the Dire's business, and well, the Dire, they're just looking for structures here. Faye easily going to take out this tower. He hits hard, and again with that Desolator, look at this thing go down. That armor reduction is so fantastic against these tier 2, tier 3 buildings. It makes really quick work of them. Now mid lane ATN are going to have to get back eventually to deal with this push coming through. A Storm Spirit working towards that next little staff and is going to have it very shortly, already picking up the full recipe for the Orchid. Alright, FNG looks like he's going to be working on his items. See if he's going to go finish off that mechanism. He has the buckler already, but no headdress, so could just be that casual buckler that a lot of bounties like to hold on to. There is going to be that impale slightly off the mark. Crush not connecting either, as this hasted up Nyx is a very speedy bug. Nyx is going to walk straight into the Static Storm. Will it end up killing him? Probably not, but I don't think he's in fighting shape right now. Earth Splitter, a little bit off the mark, as there is just not a whole lot of lockdown coming out. Unless that impale connects, there's not a whole lot of ways to hold Vega in place. We'll see if Faye can just kind of keep ahead of them in terms of raw push potential. We've got Exotic Deer on the wings, picks up an Ogre Club, so probably going in for that BKB next. Going to be a very efficient item as there's so much magic damage coming out of the Disruptor, which is a huge component of their team fight. That Static Storm's been doing a lot of work holding everyone back. Look at this tower go down. Nothing that Vega can do about this. They're just having their Storm Split push, but I don't think this tier 3 is going to be in too much trouble. Nisha now continuing to work on the Aghanim Scepter, so immediate Ags Rush not going in for that Blink Dagger. And the Sentry Ward does scout out the next assassin. So everyone's able to back off safely, and no more picks go the way of ATN, at least for the moment. Alright, PA could fall victim to FNG here, but I think he's just kind of toying around, keeping eyes, not even throwing out a track, because he does not want to let her know she's here. He just wants to sit back, maybe contest some of this farm, maybe steal some of that experience. Now, Drow Ranger, interesting build from her. She's going to go straight into that Silver Edge, so lots of utility. And now because of the Bounty Hunter's eyes onto Exotic Deer, they might be able to go in for a kill here. She's evasive. Not evasive enough. She cannot turn. She can't get out of this one. And Drow Ranger's brand new Silver Edge does pay off. Alright, Nisha. I mean, similar playstyle to the Bounty Hunter, just squiggling around, keeping eyes, allowing for more rotations coming in. Mag just going to be sitting right underneath that Nyx Assassin. Mana Burn coming out. He's got the Blink, but taking a full duration Omni Slash. Oh, it hits the Creep Wave. Mag might actually be able to get away from this. The Blink Dagger's on cooldown. He's home free. Juggernaut started the Omni just a little bit too close to the wave and pays the ultimate price. I mean, he gets a decent amount of farm, but god, that is not worth it. You want that juicy Slardar kill, and he did finish up his Manta style, but now picks up another ultimate orb, so this time might actually be going for that Lincoln Sphere. Now mid lane, there is going to be a nice little Earth Splitter, but can they keep Iceberg locked down in time? He's going to fall lightning away. He's got very low mana, but the gap close just isn't there as PA's a little bit too far out. He's going to TP to that mid lane, just trying to clear out the creeps, but won't be able to find kills. So in the last couple of seconds, your Storm Spirit, your Slardar, they've gotten out by the skin of their teeth, and I think ATN are just playing maybe a little bit too cautiously. They're not really investing the full amount of resources that it takes to get these kills. They're not waiting till Phantom Assassin comes in to try to start their ganks. They're not waiting till Juggernaut's far enough from the wave to start their Nyx impales. We'll have to see if that ends up costing them dearly. Right now, these are mistakes they can't afford to make, but they're going to start to add up here. Overall net worth is slightly in favor of Vega at the moment, but XP a little bit more so. I mean, in terms of levels, you've got your level 16 on virtually all your cores. The Phantom Assassin lagging a little bit behind, but you're going to start to see the difference in your supports. I mean, your Bounty Hunter's already level 11. FNG has that level 2 track, whereas Disruptor, not so much. None of your Dire supports have their level 2 ultis. That might make a difference for the next big team fight, or it might just be stalled out until there is that level 2 Winter's Curse, level 2 Static Storm. Alright, FNG with a nice gust does get a temporary silence, but I think he might still be out of here. No Hurricane Pike, no Silver Edge, and no way to survive, so Phantom Assassin finally closes that gap, slaps the Drow in her back, and picks up another Mithril Hammer. So it is going to be that BKB almost completed for her. Just needs about 500 more gold, and that's going to be what she needs. And now Mag is going to be kind of sandwiched in, but I don't think Phantom Assassin knows this. He's looking to just be the eyes, be the ears of his team, allowing them to push up, allowing them to get the best jump possible onto ATN. A Juggernaut with that Blink Dagger, he's going to have some serious jump power of his own. He's TPing and he's got that Omni Slash at the ready. He learned his lesson. Oh my gosh, but there's going to be that Orchid showing off. He's silenced for days. The Winter Wyvern's heal cannot keep him alive for this. Earth Splitter doesn't latch onto anyone. Just a bit of a panic fight there from ATN. A little bit of spell usage that perhaps didn't need to happen, as that Juggernaut was super dead. Now Drow Ranger, unfortunately, still dead, so can't participate in these kills. But once she comes up, it seems like Vega might be able to group up and actually start to really push. Drow Ranger feels a little bit more online after she has 2,000 more gold. She's hit her level 16, so the marksmanship is fully leveled up. And now with that headdress, Bounty Hunter's not too far off as Mac either, so there's the team fight sustain. Nyx once again connecting onto that Slardar, but oh no, I'm getting triggered from these bosses. Hopefully ATN are able to get back in time and we don't have to deal with story time with Annie again, because that was not the best. Either way, in terms of overall progression, things are going pretty good for Vega right now. The Juggernaut is still going to be at the top of the charts. He's got himself the makings of his next big item. He's got his Blink Manta Battle Fury all before 30 minutes, which is pretty nice for him. The problem is staying alive. He actually has to live throughout these big team fights, and his Omni Slashes have been pretty on point. But now heroes like the Drow, heroes like the Storm Spirit can punish him. We saw how effective that Orchid was at just reeling him in. Storm now has 17 charges in the Bloodstone, so he's going to get more and more mobile, more sustainable throughout these fights as he rakes in those kills. Alright, now Drow Ranger picks herself up a Hyperstone. So it'll be interesting to see what she does with that. Probably going to go for the Tesla Ranger, picking up that Mjolnir, and then eventually moving into the Ags. It's just a really good dispersion of damage. You get a lot of spray. You're able to clear waves extremely quickly. I mean, you can rival the Jug with the Battle Fury at this point. And he's going to go just Manta himself off. Illusion Gaming, clearing out the lanes. And, I mean, there is still real good control of the Dire team onto this Radiant Turf. They're clearing out the jungle. And over here, it's only the Nyx Assassin. Oh, he wants that Courier. He can taste it, but he might have his eyes on bigger prizes. He's looking at that Storm Spirit. It's nice and juicy. Oh, there's big pings out onto the Nyx Assassin. There's no vision. Bounty Hunter does have sentries he could put down, but they aren't able to catch out Nyx in the act. But they feel like he's nearby. They feel like they have to be very defensive, posturing up with their squishier heroes in the trees. Slardar sitting way back, ready to jump if there is an initiation. Meanwhile, the rest of the Dire, I mean, they're just grouping up, kind of stomping around near the Roche pit. Roshan is not going to be up for another minute or so. When that comes up, it looks like ATN are going to be in a bit of a better position to go and grab the Roche, but you never know. A good fight, Storm Spirit getting a good pick off, Drow Ranger clearing out this mid lane all the way up to the river, could allow for some nice movement in.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Phantom Assassin, she's got herself her completed BKB, hasn't popped the charge from it just yet. A 1,000 gold on top of that for her. So we'll see what she wants to go for next. I mean, she could be going for like the Basher Abyssal Blade if she wanted to, but it's kind of quirky. You can really rely on your Juggernaut to go for that. But he is building what I'm assuming to be is a Lincoln Sphere, but it could also be an Eye of Scotty if he wants to get the most out of his right clicks. The single target damage on Vega is pretty overwhelming, so I wouldn't be surprised if he went for Lincolns, but if he's trying to take this late game, Scotty might not be too bad of an idea. Alternate attacks are in the pit. They are slapping down this Roshan very easily. It is just going down like butter, courtesy of that PA's Desolator. Looks like Juggernaut should be able to find himself a second Aegis, and everyone else is moving forward. The Radiant, not really up to deal with that. They didn't apply pressure on this top lane when there wasn't anyone on the map because they were a bit scared, but because of that, now they're just backing off, starting from scratch. Well, alternate attacks do have that little bit of momentum behind them with the Aegis, with the fresh Roche gold. Next Assassin has that Aghanim Scepter completed and a gem. And we've got gems on both sides as Storm Spirit buys one up as well, most likely going to be carried around either by the Bounty or his little Slardar buddy. Now big smoke coming out. There is a scan available, or rather on cooldown for the Dire, so they can't check this out. This could be a pretty neat engage coming forward as FN is ready to unveil some of the damage coming out. It is going to be an Assault Cuirass from the Drow Ranger rather than that Maelstrom. Now there's going to be a Silence. Exotic Deer easily picked off. And they're moving forward again. Jug does have an Aegis, so we can afford to be a little bit greedy. Oh, but the Ghost Scepter shown off by Seema means that Faye's Omni Slash is virtually useless. They may still end up losing the Disruptor. They do, courtesy of this Blade Fury, but now Iceberg chasing down Faye. And Faye could be in a decent amount of trouble. Silenced up. Meanwhile, FN is going through, getting a kill on the Nyx Assassin. Now it's just going to be a 1v1 between these buddies. Iceberg still has plenty of mana. Faye looking to just man this out on him, but there's Mag coming in, has the crush as well. I think this is a dead Jug once, if not twice, as FN is ready to go. Prevent the blink down to the low ground. He's going to get silenced immediately, and Drow Ranger just wails on him from down below. FNG pulls himself another kill. I believe that was not a track kill, though. I don't think he got that off in time. Either way, still some gold going for his team. Overall fight overwhelmingly in favor of the Radiant with a 4k gold swing in their favor. Right, now FN easily able to clear out the tower. Again, just courtesy of that fast attack speed. Assault Cuirass finished up. A bit of an unusual item for the Drow Ranger. Usually she kind of focuses on that, not necessarily glass cannon builds, but more just raw damage picked up so she can sit in the back of the fights, not have to worry about being the frontliner, not having to worry about needing that extra bit of armor. But I guess that's going to be the most likely option if Storm Spirit wants to go for that raw utility build. He now has a BKB of his own, 9-second charge left on that. PA, she's angry. She wants to come out. She wants to start picking up kills because she can snowball so quickly, but the problem is for the last couple of minutes, all she's been able to do is farm and watch her teammates die. Kill score starting to even out a little bit as ATN seem to be losing a bit of steam. Of course, they're not really at their power spike just yet. We're only 33 minutes into the game. Jug and PA can easily carry, up until 60 minutes, but heroes like the Storm Spirit picking up more and more charges on his Bloodstone, now sitting at 21. I mean, he's feeling on top of the world right now. His mana sustain is ridiculously good. He's got himself 2,500 gold. He's got himself a nice, shiny BKB. His next big item could be even something like an Octarine Core if he wants to get ultra greedy. Wouldn't be surprised to see a Hex as well. Shiva's Guard, also a nice option for him. Buffs his stats unbelievably well. Now, here we go. Smoke up. Big rotation towards the mid lane. Lots of pings just popping all over the map right now as everyone wants to be the first one to jump. Mag is at the ready for that blink crush as Elder Titan is going to reveal there's going to be the Radiant pinging out the Dire smoke. So the smoke on smoke action is eventually going to go down. Track onto the PA, so now they've got to try to focus her. The silence comes out onto the Witcher Wyvern, though. No more heals for her. stomp from the Elder Titan only buys a little bit of time as Exotic Gear pops in to that BKB form, jumps in, but just gets picked off. FN having none of this here, so it's going to be a 2-for-1 so far. The Bounty loses his life, but not before he rakes in a little bit of track cold for his team. Now it's going to be 3 dead as the Nyx Assassin cannot burrow in and save himself. Glimpse out, they're trying to get something done here as Elder Titan just sits back and relaxes, not even going to buy out before he goes down. He's just going to be sitting back and taking it there as the Drow Ranger gets a triple kill for herself, showing this true power. Now 3,500 gold towards her next big item. I was wrong about this AC, man. It keeps her alive, it keeps her up, keeps her fighting, and the raw damage from the stat boosts on the Hurricane Pike and the Silver Edge is enough. Alright, now Iceberg, again, just feeling really, really good. 25 Bloodstone charges, 4,600 gold on the Storm Spirit at 35 minutes in. I mean, this guy's been called one of the best mids in all of CIS Dota, and I can definitely see why Storm Spirit, with the Drow Ranger, obviously has an easier time in lane, but he didn't give anything up early on. He farmed really, really effectively up against the PA, and now he has all the items and the glory to show for it. He's going to be flying in a Void Stone, so most likely a Scythe of Vice coming up for him ASAP. That's going to be a lot more lockdown. All you have to do is wait for Juggernaut to walk up and look like he's going to Omni Slash, and all of a sudden you just lay down the law, hex him up, silence him up, and rip him to pieces.
Whoa, what'd I miss?
Phantom Assassin focusing on what she's going to be doing next here. Her farm's fallen off a little bit. I mean, she's fallen down to that